I think it's surprising to some that my work tends to start out very loose and very sketchy, and I take a lot of photographs. I do some work in Photoshop trying to kind of mock up the image, because they're never images that can be just set up and painted from observation. The drawing behind me I've been working on for over a year. From the sketch to a several 100-hour drawing, there's a bit of an evolution. My initial idea for this was a compositional idea. The sort of notion of pregnancy was not part of the initial concept, and that's something that came in afterward. I think sometimes an idea is generated by a narrative notion, by content, and I think other times my ideas are generated by a formal idea, a compositional idea, something I want to try to accomplish either with the figure or with the space. The work that I make is really invested in process and built in layers over a long period of time. I guess what I would hope is that viewers experience some measure of depth and history in the work that I think is compelling.
I've always been sort of interested in the work from the Gothic period in terms of the simplicity of it. It's at once very naive and almost childlike in the way that the figures are depicted and the way they interact with the space. And at the same time, it's very sophisticated because there's a lot of visual editing that goes on in those images. With my narrative paintings, typically they tend to be driven more by a concept or an idea that I'm trying to get across. So I will do a number of drawings to figure out what would be the best composition, what do I want the figures to be doing to get across this idea symbolically or metaphorically. In this painting in particular, that I found that I needed to do some on-site sketching, and then also did some a little bit of figure gesturing to sort of work out the body language of the figures in the painting. Most of the color in the painting and the light is based on daily observation of what I observe in my surroundings. I'm not painting something from observation, but I'm using my knowledge or my experience of painting from observation to enable me to create a space that feels real. When someone looks at my painting, I want them to come back to it and see something different that they hadn't seen the first time. And I want them to have a different experience or to notice something different about the painting each time they come back and look at it.
I'm Shelley Barron, and I'm very passionate about my teaching practice at Edinboro, but I'm also a hybrid person. I'm part designer and part artist. Lately, and I'd say for the past 10 or 15 years, I've been working with large-scale mixed media collage on canvas. And I've developed a system where I work in a small collage, and then I enlarge it, and then I paint on it and work on it again and again and again. This is the beginning collage for a piece called Help the Bombardier, I'm the Bombardier. And so I started doing things. I found an old image of the Pinocchio puppet online. I printed it out and recollaged it. So some of the parts are laser prints, and some of them are on transparency so that you can see the underlying part coming through. And then of course it's drawn on as well. And then this piece became 5 by 7 feet, also then put on canvas and worked on more. I hope that they would find something that speaks to their experience in my work, that might either comfort or unnerve them. That's really all I hope for. Comfort and unnerving.